The process for how this came about and us getting the crisis van and what that looked like is, before me in my role was Steve Hightower, and he's now one of our directors. And he's been overseeing crisis services for a long period of time. And kind of the nature of our crisis teams is that we're always looking to see, where we can improve, how we can make things better for the community. And in one of the conversations with, between senior leadership and executive leadership, it was like, what if we had, a crisis van where we could provide more outreach to rural areas, really provide care, like having a mobile office in a compassionate way, someplace that's safe. And we're really lucky and fortunate to have the support of executive leadership that took that and just made it happen. And so now we have this really cool van. Our van is stocked with various things. So we have Narcan in there, we have water, we have snacks, we have what you might call swag to be able to hand out for outreach. We have pamphlets, not only for our services here, but for community support. So when we're engaging with individuals in crisis out in the community, if they say they need a service, we're able to readily hand that to them. And then the team, so it's primarily used for our adult and youth mobile crisis teams, and they're the ones that'll be out. They're driving it to crisis calls out in the community. They're staging in different areas throughout the community just to be available and to outreach those who might be more hesitant to engage in services that are in a traditional office setting. And so really wanting to say, like, we'll come to you. And that's what we've been doing. So it's able to allow us to continue to provide that service. The van will, it's kind of like the way crisis works, is that we're flexible with the needs of the community. So it doesn't necessarily have a set schedule for where it will be right now, as we're still kind of piloting it and getting out there in the community. How it works right now is that if there's a crisis call, we're using it. We are staging out in different areas, like at community supports, maybe in more popular areas for individuals to come to us. And then maybe as we continue to use it and we identify a need, we can come up with a schedule. I will say that we are trying to really prioritize more rural areas. So we provide services to all of Douglas County, all of Chelan County, and as you know, those are really spread out areas and difficult for certain individuals to either be able to transport themselves in here or just gaining access to different services. So we're really wanting to prioritize those areas like Bridgeport, Manson, Chelan, and really getting out there to educate and offer our services. So we expect the van to aid the local community just by continuing to be mobile. What I've seen and what I hear from these teams who are out there doing the work is there's a lot of barriers, and some of that comes from, again, being in rural areas, not having transportation, not able to access transportation, not knowing what services are available to them. And so by being mobile and educating and outreaching, really encouraging the community to use crisis services, so they're not having to call law enforcement or they're not having to go to the emergency department. If it's not necessary, we want to keep them safe in their community. And so we're really wanting to provide aid in that way. Wherever the crisis is, that's where we are.